Welcome to Marbling, the podcast that helps you think different. Today we're going to be talking about relearning old lessons and how they can actually change over time and improve your life too. So something I've been noticing a lot recently when growing my business and even certain lessons, seeing what other people go through in their lives and what I could pick up from that is a lot of lessons that, you've known for so long or things that are basic, or things that you've just read, even if it's a book you read maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago, or even just a year ago. You really take in information as your understanding of the world is really shaped. The way you see the world is also gonna shape the way you take in information. It's crazy how, lessons I've learned and things that I've read and all these other areas that, I've personally improved on or looked at or learned from, years ago, it's over 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, any of these lessons, you know, if if they're presented to me again, let's say it's a lecture or a lesson or even a book, the way it affects my life is so much more different. A lot of that information can actually scale with you while you grow. So if you're learning new things all the time and you're in a, even if you're not in a fully different stage in your life, but you've still kind of grown a little bit, you've made some progress, you're putting that one foot next to the other, in front of the other. It's crazy to see and to realize that going back and reading these older lessons will actually help clarify the path forward a little bit more for you, as it has for me. Because the first time you read something or you learn, let alone read, first time you learn something, whether it's somebody who told you or a book or anything, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, but you're not really, truly gonna be able to pull everything out of it until you're at the point where you need it in a way. It's crazy that you can learn something basic. For example, something that I recently looked at was Simon Sinek. Shout out, he's a great speaker. He's done great things in business as well. He talks about how Apple stands out from other businesses, and why do they stand out from other businesses? What does the average business say? Let's stick to something relevant. Most businesses will say in the computer space, we make faster computers. They're better. You can program, much easier on them. You can browse the internet faster. There's better Wi-Fi. The CPUs, all those other details, and we have them look really sick, really sleek. You have nice LEDs on them, but do you want to buy one? How does that sound versus Apple, who doesn't sell you on the product? They sell you on their reason, their mission, their values. And it comes across even in their advertising. And Apple goes more like, I'm paraphrasing this from Simon, and he said it goes something like, we believe in challenging the status quo, in thinking different and making things simple and easy to use. The way we do that is by selling laptops. We so happen to also sell phones. Do you want to buy one? And that hits so much different. If you're at the stage in your, let's say you have a business or you're going to start one, if you haven't started a business, this will hit different than if you did start a business, than if you are in the middle of a business, or if you're headed towards failure in your business. Like all these positions that you're in your life, you'll take in the information with your own bias. I feel like it's a bias where you don't really take it all in. Anybody can get it. You know, I think even an 8th grader, a 7th grader can understand these concepts if you were to tell it to them. But I don't think information manifests itself equally no matter when you learn it, which has been such a crazy realization for me, and something I shared with friends, and you know, they actually noticed that a little bit more too. That when you go, let's say you learned how to, it wouldn't have to be a technical skill. I think this works more for you know, non-specific skills, like for example coding. Coding, if you understand it, you can do it for the long haul. It doesn't really manifest itself differently over time. But lessons and experiences and meanings, even those quotes you could see online from like Socrates and all the others, you know, back in ancient Greece and all that, you know, they hit different when you're older. They hit different when you've been through more, and they really help you see things clearer the deeper you move into uncontested territories in your life. You know, you're going to be doing new things in your business. You're going to be doing new things in your job, maybe in your marriage, whatever you're doing. You know, in your personal life, with any hobbies, anything that's new is shrouded in that sense of like unknown. And what brought you forward in the past can actually help you move forward in the future and maybe take a bigger step. You know, if there's something you learned that gave you a few steps forward, like 5 years ago, if you bring it back today, it might help you overcome a huge leap or a huge obstacle that you didn't make that neural, emotional, spiritual, you know, any however you want to look at it, that type of connection. And that's been such a deep realization that literally just happened to me today. So I really hope this sheds some light in a positive way for you guys, and you can actually go and see and actually try it for yourself. It doesn't have to be super active, because I feel like when you're trying to pay attention to changes, it really doesn't go like super well noticed. It obviously doesn't happen with all the information, but it happens to the ones that are relevant. And it's crazy how our life's timeline really, you know, brightens up over time, and you just keep learning new things, even with the old information you learned too. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.